Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of Adobe Live. I'm Flynn. It's so nice to have you join us, and we are joined by JESWRI, artist,
what's up?
Illustrator, painter.
Yeah, my hands are filthy.
Covered in paint when you came in here today.
Yeah.
The sign of a true artist.
I was like a wet paint sign.
Right. And so it's great to have you back on. You have been on the show before.
Yes. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, no problem. You're actually from Melbourne.
Now I am.
Now you're from Melbourne. You're from Melbourne before. I think you just moved there.
I was from Melbourne before as well, but no, I was born in Sydney and grew up in Burwood, and now I'm a Melbourneite. I think they're calling us
Melbourneite.
A Melbourneite. Yeah. Not a fan of it, but I like the city, not the name.
Right. So where are you guys from? Anyone from Melbourne out there?
Off to a great start.
Yeah, it's a great start. Hey Festus from Wellington. Yeah, I'd love to find out where you are all from in the chat. Say hello. You can log into the chat using your Adobe ID. That's the ID for your Creative Cloud account, just in the top right-hand corner, and you can jump into the chat and you can say hi. We're actually going to be doing an interactive drawing session, which I'll get JESWRI to tell us a little bit more about in a moment, where you will, essentially be able to dictate what we do on the stream. That's pretty much what's going down.
Yep, you be my boss.
That's awesome. Okay, so I guess we're basically going to be doing everything from scratch today as well, which is pretty cool because often we'll sort of be using things from templates, or we'll be using sort of pre-made content and stuff like that as well. But we basically have a completely fresh out of the box. In fact, we're using a trial version of Photoshop right now.
Nobody judge us.
So you're going to be building from scratch. So do you want to tell us maybe a little bit about what we're going to do today?
Yeah, so the last time I was on, I gave a bit of a beginner's class, I guess.
Yeah.
Like what did I call it?
You're going to make me try to remember that.
Yeah, I can't remember it. Anyway, so I did a lot of tracing, and I kind of compiled and composed a big image based on like tracing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So today I'm going to be working from scratch. I'm going to be creating a landscape image based on interactive input from everyone who wants to throw me as many ideas as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just going to be completely up to everyone and what I'm doing.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you guys can get started whenever you like. I guess no holds barred. Like what should Jesse draw? Hey everyone, we got from Perth, Byron Bay, India. Nice to have you. Great to see our Indian friends here. Yasmin, nice to see you in there as well. Well, you're pretty into wrestling, so I thought I'd cheat and give you a low ball.
Oh yeah.
And see if maybe some Ric Flair could make it in.
Woo!
Our man.
The man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that we could start there as we...
You gotta be the man, you gotta beat the man.
As we could start. So should we jump in, start playing with the canvas? Are you gonna draw like a background or anything like that? Or are we just gonna start like drawing characters, or how would you like to start?
Well, you really stumped me, so that's a pretty hard one straight out the bat. I mean, I love Ric Flair, but this is definitely a bit of a figure four leg locker you put me in.
It's a sweet reference. It's amazing.
I had a great deal of questions last time about how to kind of set up a board and stuff like that. And obviously it feels a bit easy to me, but when I design stuff, I like to design stuff in high res. And even for shirts and digital and stuff like that, I'll convert it later, but I feel it's very important for me to kind of to hit a home run straight at the before I start, if that makes sense.
Right.
So like you can't salvage a low res image.
So you'd like to start big because then you can always scale down, but you can't scale back up, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Unless you're an illustrator.
That's true. We're going to be spending our day in Photoshop, I think, today.
I love these surface. Like you can use your fingers.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey everyone else that's in there. Georgina, we've got some suggestions. We've got a squid, which is actually the first legit one.
Can I start with a squid?
You can start with the squid instead of the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Let's mix them together.
A squid, Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Squid, I like it.
The Nature Boy, the Nature Squid.
Hey Emma from Mildura, Year 12 class. That's awesome. What's up, guys? What kind of class are you? Are you an art class or maybe a design class? That'd be super cool to know. It's great to have you here. So also, as we go, we'll be taking questions as well. So if you have questions with JESWRI about his practice, his favorite wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
You're super into the Japanese wrestling scene, is that right?
Yeah. I'm into it, but I've a lot of my friends are way more versed than I am.
Right.
So they always call me out for being a bit of a noob on it. I'm definitely a bit green in that area, but I love watching New Japan, and I'm kind of lucky that they're my clients.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
So I'm kind of well versed on that kind of stuff, but there's Japanese wrestling culture is a whole. It's a massive tunnel that. No,
never-ending
fandom. I'm not getting into it.
Okay.
Don't even start me on that.
All right. So we'll keep taking these suggestions as we go and add them in.
Basically, with everything I do, I always like to set up a bit of a white page, so it feels like I'm drawing on paper.
Okay.
And what I've done now is I've just created this layer where I can kind of have a bit of a background going, so I can always put stuff there later. And I might just even name that BG, background. So this one I'll set up the squid flare. I think last time I was drawing everything from tracing and stuff. So I think this is a bit fun where I can actually, I don't know, just draw from memory.
A bit more freestyle.
Yeah.
I have a terrible memory. I think I'd be so bad at this.
Really?
Yeah. We were talking before on the show. I don't know if anyone's done this. We used to do these workshops, and one of the workshops we used to do was on taking data from people and asking them questions for user experience projects. And one of the things was to prove that actually people have a really terrible memory and they just make stuff up.
Yeah.
And the exercise is you have 30 seconds to draw a bike, and everyone gets a piece of paper and they try to draw the bike. And it's the vast majority of people actually can't draw a bike that would work. And we had a bit of fun having a look at all those bikes.
I have a question for you. Which Ric Flair are you thinking?
I was thinking Nature Boy.
80s Flair?
Yeah, 80s. That's what I was thinking.
The mullet.
He needs to have a handprint on his
chest.
If you haven't seen wrestling before, this might not make so much sense, but
I feel like Ric Flair just breaks walls. Everyone knows Ric Flair.
Transcends.
Yeah, everyone knows Ric Flair. If you don't, Google him.
So we got suggestion to put a cowboy hat on the squid.
Oh hell yeah!
Wow.
No, that's not a cowboy hat.
Anything's a cowboy hat if a cowboy's wearing it, right?
I think you've just broken me right now. You've blown my mind.
We did have suggestion for lots of trees as well. You don't have to jump around or anything like that, but I'll make some notes and we'll make sure we
get to them.
But I'm going to say trees, please.
Trees, please.
That's all right. Oh, so Emma, you're in the studio art class. That's awesome. I did art. Did you do art at school, year 12?
Pretty much the only thing I was good at.
Right.
Yeah. It was, I pretty much flunked every other class like that. Even in art class, I feel like I was that little idiot in the back of the class to come up to break the rules and create my own briefs and stuff like that. So even when it comes to projects, I would kind of bend the rules and make up the meaning of the artwork at the end, come up with all the subjective stuff at the end. So for example, everyone, let's create a vase with clay. I would not create a vase and then just come up with a rationale at the end, here's why I didn't create a vase. Right. I was always a bit of
the post-rationalization technique.
Yeah.
Very common in the graphic design field.
Yeah, for sure. I loved art, and I definitely love art, art classes. I still go to live drawing classes sometimes. But yeah, like I said, it was the only thing I was kind of good at. So, but maybe I could think because art doesn't really have any rules. So I'm just I'm laying down a bit of a stencil now, so I can go back over in a new layer. So now that I know I can kind of see it there, I can either edit stuff on the go, or I can, I don't know.
This is like a pretty kind of common technique I think we've seen on the live stream quite a lot about stenciling out the first initial like almost like a wireframe for your drawing, like your initial sketch.
Yeah.
So even when you're working digitally, that you like working in the layers, and the more time you have, the more refined you can kind of get, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like sometimes I'll find myself like 10 layers deep before I can.
Really?
Yeah. Before I can even come up with the final outline. Especially when you're drawing freehand, like you can never really have enough layers. I think I'm going for a bit of a comic one here.
He's a comical squid.
Squids have eyebrows, right? The emotion. He's the emotional one of his group.
I've got a question if you can answer as you go.
Shoot.
Drawing straight onto a screen now, is that your usual approach or pen and paper? Still useful, I guess. Just talking about,
I can't draw on paper anymore.
No?
Nah.
Just all digital?
Like, if I draw on paper, it will come out looking exactly like that. And then that's end of story.
Right.
I'm not clean on paper. I think even on paper, like I'll go to press like undo on the keyboard.
Oh yeah. Have you ever had an undo dream? I had a dream where I could undo things in my dream.
Really?
Yeah. I was like in my mind pressing like Command Z.
What were you trying to undo?
I don't know. But I can tell you I was very disappointed when I woke up that I did not have that power.
Really?
Anymore, yeah. It's like a vivid recurring dream.
I think you need to see someone.
I have been working with Adobe for some time. So
but here's the thing as well, like even on paper, like legitimately I tried doing it the other day and I just caught myself doing it.
Like
I went to pinch the paper to zoom in.
Oh wow, yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's not gonna work. Don't pinch paper.
Don't pinch paper.
So I'm getting rid of the side tabs for now. I'll put them back later.
Oh, I have another question. Is it easier to use a stylus than a mouse and / touchpad on a laptop? It's a good question because so many people have a laptop. It's like, can I do this? Can I get involved? Without.
It's so much easier for sure. There's no saying it's not. Is it possible to do? Yeah, for sure.
I think if I remember correctly, you were saying that when you went the last time you were on, you were saying that you actually started out like by using just the trackpad.
Just the trackpad, yeah. Yeah. Adobe resident Dale showed me how to use a Wacom. I did one of his classes and I just never looked back. But yeah, it's definitely doable. The only difference with Photoshop is you get the pressure sensitive stuff, so you can't get that on a trackpad. You can't get that with a mouse. I can't remember if that's his hair or that's his tentacles. Finish him up soon. But yeah, like it's definitely doable, but it's the trackpad that it's not pressure sensitive. Give him some freckles.
Jeremy L, which might be our other resident illustrator.
I think I know who
What's
it is.
up? Said never too many layers. So yeah, can you have too many layers?
Jeremy, I'm not answering your question until you buy me a beer. No, you can never have too many layers. Some programs you can, they limit you. Adobe, it's great because you never can have too many layers. But
that's a bumper sticker.
Yeah. In saying that though, when you work in Illustrator, when I work in Illustrator, I hate using layers. I find that one of my pet peeves when I get a file or something like that and someone's given me a file in layers.
Right.
Oh man. But Photoshop's great because I know they know what they're doing.
Festus has the right idea. Squid should be drinking some fine bourbon. And there was a suggestion for smoking squid, smoking a pipe. Cigar or pipe.
I like your style. I'll get to the bourbon in a second.
It's a busy squid. Good thing squid has 8 appendages.
Do they have 8? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Squid. How many squid would have?
8, isn't it?
It's got some hands as well.
Oh, that was a dangerous box I opened. I have absolutely no idea.
Don't get me started on pop culture. I got this. That's something you can't do on paper as well. You can't erase things ever.
Right.
There's never been a way to erase things on paper.
Someone should look into that.
Engineers, get your pencils ready.
Well, Greem has very vivid dreams as well. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Elizabeth was asking, do you turn the final line work into vector art?
Yeah, you probably should, but I don't. If you design in high res, you can separate the colors later, and it should still be fine if you want to take it to print.
Like for screen printing or something like
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think you need to. Like if you work in Illustrator first, then that's great because you've already got the vectors. But sometimes when you take stuff over from Photoshop and you hit image trace and stuff like that, it loses it.
Yeah.
But I would not advise it. Add some smoke. Yeah. I'm gonna outline that part so you can see it a bit better.
Now we had a question, what brush do you use for this drawing?
So, as Flynn would have it, I didn't bring my my tablet in today, so Microsoft were excellent enough to hook us up with this. And this is a brand new Photoshop, brand new tablet, the works. I'm literally just using the standard.
Yeah,
standard
this is like
everything.
Fresh out of the box.
Yeah, I don't have any of my brushes. I don't have anything. So you're seeing it as I'm seeing it.
Do you normally do you have your own brushes that you would use commonly, or are you always just using sort of the system out of the box brushes?
Honestly, the system brushes, hey.
Yeah.
If I want to take it a bit further, I've got the True Grit texture brushes that I'll use for like for halftones and stuff like that. But otherwise, I just use straight out the box brushes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is a myth, Kashula, about using Photoshop and other software on like if it's better on Mac. I don't know about Jesse, but I use PC at home and I use my Mac everywhere, and I just use them seamlessly. I think there's a huge difference these days.
I can probably tell you firsthand because I work exclusively on Mac, so like working on the Windows now, there's no difference.
Yeah.
The only difference is the keyboard. Yeah, I don't really have an issue with them. Just this damn keyboard.
What screen size is the Surface? We actually don't know. It's huge.
It's at least 2,000 meters wide.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
1080p. It's 4K.
It's 4K.
4K.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's a work of art, if you ask me. What brand is the bourbon? It's a really bad bourbon.
Yeah, we covered your question with a follow-up question there, Jeremy.
No, Jeremy, I'm not custom. Nothing about me is custom. I'm fake.
I think Jeremy uses those True Grit ones as well.
Yeah.
He's an Australian guy, I think.
Yeah, he's living in Canada.
Living in Canada? Yep.
You know what? Here we go. Jeremy's bourbon. I hope nobody asks me about my handwriting again. I don't want to get into that rabbit hole.
Note to self, do not ask.
Do not ask me about my
handwriting.
Jeremy's bourbon. Fantastic. All right, so I feel like we can move on from the squid. For now, at least. It's a terrible looking squid.
It's awesome.
You know, it's all part of the process. So I think like something I like to do is I convert like anything I do into smart objects. So I can use them later. What do I do? Something. That's all right. Yeah, I convert them to smart objects so I can like, so it doesn't change the res.
Right.
Oh, what's going on here? There we go. So if I want to come back and edit it later, it's still high res and I can just go into this new one, and then whatever I do to the squid will come up in this brand new tab. So if
That's cool. Yeah, I was wondering, like, because you did the whole thing so big. So you often do that? You'll work really, really large and then just scale things down?
Yeah. If once you start resizing the rasterized layers, then that's when you start getting like super pixelated stuff, and then it just gets really warped. So like you can see that already, but like that will come more apparent if you don't turn to a smart object.
Right.
So now you can go, let's just say for like argument's sake, let's just go, just want to turn this guy red. Everything you do there, you save it. Anything you do there will replicate in the larger scheme. Yeah.
It's a great way to work.
Yeah, I think so. And then you can color it in that little box later as well. You can go back in and go, maybe I want to take the bourbon out. Maybe I want to like change the hat. Maybe I want to do anything else. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, everything's reflected in the big one, the big picture. Someone said trees, right?
Yeah, trees. That's exactly what I was thinking.
You think what I'm thinking, B1?
You start drawing bananas, B2?
Yes, I'm going to start drawing bananas. I love this thing, pinching it.
So Santhosh, sorry, I hope I got your pronunciation correct. What resolution do you have it set? Is it just for screen or 300 DPI?
This one's set at 300. So at the start of it, I set up an A3 page.
Right, just like an A3 piece of paper size?
Yep. I generally work in A3 to like with most of my stuff. Then I think like, because that kind of, it's the same size as shirts and stuff. Like a lot of my artworks are in shirts. So it doesn't really change too much. I think like I've got really bad memory on my computer.
Right.
So anything you can save at like the high enough res is great. But yeah, I set up the document at the start to be at A3. So
there we go. A3, 300 DPI. It's cool.
Every time I get asked to draw trees, I feel like I'm in kindergarten again, because that and a couple of other things are things that I just can't draw very well. So it's a fun thing for me. I get like heaps of my inspiration from cartoons and stuff, like all the Disney and stuff like that. So maybe I should put like, maybe they'd be evil trees. So like a sunflower thing in there too. No. My mum taught me to draw when I was a kid, so everything that I get taught is like structured.
Yeah, you did like a grid for that flower?
Yeah.
Wow.
Should I have? Maybe not, but it's cool.
Follow your dreams. I think it worked really well.
Nobody look at me.
Elizabeth was suggesting add some tattoos.
To the tree or the
I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you were drawing the tree when she made the suggestion.
Anything can happen.
Sorry, I just assumed. But yeah.
Anything can happen.
Maybe a tree. Is if you carve into a tree, is that a tree tattoo?
Ooh. You're asking really deep questions today.
If you give a tree a tattoo in the forest and no one sees it, is it really there?
Is it really a tattoo? I think so. I'm going to combine these layers because I feel like... Oh, no. There we go. Combine them.
We had a suggestion for some smiling sunflowers as well.
That's going to be them, I reckon.
That's
it's almost like
friends down there.
I'm either seeing the future or I'm looking at what's in front of me. All right, let's have a look at this, see what else I could do to this tree. I reckon the face will go somewhere like there. Maybe this one can be face as well. Maybe like apples or something on the tree.
I think we need one more tree feature.
Yeah.
So we're going to give the trees tattoos, apples, and maybe something else. Let us know, chat.
No, it's too big. I love men.
Oh.
That's not from me, that's from the tree.
That's from the tree. Well, I'll take what I can get.
If the tree loved me like it loves you.
I believe that's in your power.
Is it though?
There's more than one tree.
Or is it in the power of the audience?
Oh, right. Let us know, chat. Do trees love more?
Flynn or Jesse? It's funny too. Like when the more I draw, like there's no way anyone can make out what that is. But I've got to try and keep track of it.
You got it in your head?
I hope so. There's a lot of things out there that I think need to get out there, but maybe that's another one of your deep questions.
Festus was suggesting a squirrel in the tree.
Oh. All right. Let me get ready.
Got to warm up for the squirrel section?
Mm-hmm. You my back crack. Does the microphone pick that up? It's going to be a pretty big squirrel. I think I was drawing a squirrel before. I hope so. The squirrel have big teeth? No.
It's like a chipmunk.
That's ducks.
I have written down duck as a suggestion as a backup. So duck's my favorite animal.
Only if it's a blue duck.
Yeah, we could do a blue duck. That's pretty
quacktastic.
Cool. Do you have a favorite animal?
Is that funny enough? It's a duck.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did we just become best friends?
We go do karate in my garage. Yeah, like every time. It's funny too because both me and my dog love ducks. It's really weird. Like I think he likes him for a different reason. Yeah. He wants to eat them. I just want to like run up and cuddle it. Yeah. No, I love ducks.
Awesome.
Oh man, I'm like him, but I'll scream out the window every time I see a duck like on the side of the road. I'll scream like duck.
Do they ever react?
No.
In any way? No. Just do duck things.
Like my parents, they never loved me.
Can one of the trees be throwing up the DDP diamond cutter?
Oh, hit pause. Hitting pause. Hell yeah, they can. Wait, the diamond cutter or the diamond logo? Like,
I think that's what I assume.
That's what I'm assuming.
It's been a very long time since I've watched wrestling.
Oh yeah,
but I did used to watch it quite a lot back in the day.
Did you watch WCW or WWF?
I think WCW originally. And then did one of them merge or something?
Yeah, they got bought out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were the days.
I think that's around the time I stopped.
That's probably not a bad time to stop because WCW got terrible.
Really?
Yeah. There's your diamond cutter. That's going to be back in later. DDP yoga. Back to the squirrel.
Back to the squirrel.
It's a pretty maniacal looking squirrel. Holding a nut. I think that's nut. No, maybe. There we go. We don't have these in Australia, do we? These like acorns. I was
just about to say the same thing. I don't think we do.
It's so ingrained in like that's what squirrels and like even in Ice Age.
Right.
I think that's about ready. Is there anything else? I'm gonna put that there. There's a flying. I think I saw a flying squirrel. There you go.
Is that anatomically correct?
Bees built like that, so why not?
Why not?
You know bumblebees aren't meant to fly.
Has anyone told the bumblebees?
Maybe not.
They're just arrogant.
I'll tell you about something about nothing. I'll fly if I want to fly. It's going to be like flash wings. There you go. Barry Allen of the squirrel. This one has an eye patch as well. Super maniacal. All right, I think that's all right. I can probably move that around later, but let's get this show on the road.
Festus was saying that there's lots of Canadas in squirrel. Lots of Canadas in squirrel.
There are a lot
Ladies
of
and gentlemen,
Canadas in squirrel.
I'm gonna take a break.
I thought I was gonna be the one coming on in.
I know you're carrying the show.
I was doing my tongue twisters before. I think that's the key.
What were the tongue twisters that you're doing?
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Right.
The priest was late for the bat mitzvah. It's my thing. Pull references out my
squirrel.
No squirrel.
Hey Ben, good to see you there. Welcome. We're taking suggestions. Hey, if you're just joining us, we are taking suggestions for what Jess is going to draw.
Yep.
So let us know. How many passes will you normally do? I know we spoke about it, like you could get up to like quite a lot. But
yeah.
What's like a typical amount?
I think generally about 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Like I'll probably lay down this extremely messy thing, and then like the next layer will be going, all right, well that's definitely the eye patch, and like I'll put what I want places.
Yeah.
So generally 2 or 3. Sometimes it's kind of clear enough that I can make it up, and I think that's the beautiful thing about drawing in digital, is you can kind of erase stuff on the go. Yeah. Generally 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, get that. It's kind of had a moment there where I thought I was by myself, and then I realized what I'm doing. There we go. I wonder if this will work. Boom. No. I'm just going to color that in like...
Play school style.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Squiggle, 21st century, exactly.
DDP. Yoga. Boom. The first ever DDP yoga eye patch. If he comes out with eye patches, I feel like I need royalties, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's here first.
Yeah, if anyone sees it, DM me, and I'm going to take him to court. DDP, if you're watching this, on the other chance.
But chat gave us the idea, so who really originated the idea?
Of the eye patch or DDP yoga?
The eye patch and DDP yoga. So you can't really own an idea.
Can we block this guy?
It's quick silence.
Yeah. You don't ask questions you don't want the answers to.
We got some suggestions coming up for the next one as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'll probably be for the next phase, I think. Yeah, Janelle was saying she'd love to see some forest mushrooms.
I think that could be in this one.
Oh, yeah? Okay, cool.
Yeah, for sure. I'll go back to my stencil layer. There we go. Sometimes I'm pretty good. I know how to draw something from memory like that. Not that I've found any mushrooms or anything like that. You don't know me. You don't know me.
You never know. Suggest some breakfast foods, waffles, maybe some Wheat Bix.
How many Wheat Bix though?
Well, how many Wheat Bix do you do?
I'll do at least 30 a day.
It's the old campaign, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like how many like Wheat Bix could you like?
Brett Lee did 40.
Did he?
No. There we go. 1 Wheat Bix, 2 Wheat Bix. There are somehow weird. 3 Wheat Bix, 4 Wheat Bix, 4.5 Wheat Bix.
They do break pretty easily.
They're
do brittle.
Break. You got 30 seconds to eat your Wheat Bix. Otherwise, it's mush.
Right. Yeah, there is like a period of time where breakfast foods such as this are really good. Like the actual food part is really crunchy and hasn't sogged up yet.
Yeah. Is that one of your deep thoughts again?
It's one of my thoughts. I don't know how deep it is.
So generally, everything in life, if you think
everything in life can be related to a breakfast food.
If you don't eat it quick enough, it gets soggy.
Freedom waffles.
Freedom waffles. There we go. So now we get back to my outline. Quit distracting me, guys. It's terrible. So like generally when I do this, I definitely put everything down to like, I should have done that earlier. Put it down like to next to nothing. So you're not like overly distracted by life.
True.
Any more brain busters?
We have a question from Elizabeth. How did you start out selling your artwork? It's a great question.
Yeah. I quit my job. No.
Not having money is a really strong motivator.
Yeah. I think I wanted to, when I was younger, I always wanted to be an artist and stuff. Like I always wanted to do art as a job. So I think that was always something that registered straight away, is that you have to make money from art somehow. How did I get started? I think I had a brand for a little bit, and then I sold some t-shirts through that. And then I guess after a while, I was like, oh, well, like everyone's liking my artwork.
Right.
So I'm going to like maybe sell some artwork.
Like more so than just the t-shirt, the artwork on the t-shirt, they actually like the detail of the...
Yeah, and like they liked all the meaning and messaging I had in there and stuff. And,
yeah. Were you doing kind of pop culture things at the time? Do you remember?
No, I don't think I was.
Is that fair enough to say pop culture? Is that accurate?
Yeah, I'd say that's my style. I don't think so. I think I was doing like tattooed looking images back then. Yeah, I think it just felt like a natural progression for me to want to sell art. And I think that's still like my end goal is to like commercialize myself and have myself like a brand as well. So like that's just an extension of having a brand is you've got a commerce component. That sounded really sophisticated.
It really did. Maybe you're the deep thought guy and I'm just on for the ride.
I'm definitely a thinker. Not a looker.
Draw an arrogant bee.
An arrogant bee.
That's great.
No. I will.
Now you're being an arrogant bee.
I think I'm being a bumblebee. Got a Woolies bag. Just been out shopping.
Arrogant Bee is a really good band name.
Yeah.
How was last night? I was really good. I just went and saw the Arrogant Bees.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, on your Tinder profile, I'm in a band because they were called the Arrogant Bees. Of course, I've never used that app. What's that? Anyway, moving.
Ben, is that true? Your friend used to pour boiling water on Weet-Bix and mash it all up.
When you say used to, does that mean that he's still your friend? Because if my friend did that, then I definitely would not be friends with them.
Either not friends or it was a catastrophic method of eating breakfast.
It's like a deal breaker for me. You don't do anything but milk on your...
That's like extreme breakfast.
It's like those people who boil oats in there on the stove.
Right.
Like old school. And just destroy it with a microwave. Less nutritious, but it's quicker. Some dodgy wings.
Arrogant.
So there you go. These are arrogant wings. Find me a more arrogant pair of wings, I dare you. Challenge accepted.
Interesting thing to Google.
Arrogant wings.
Arrogant wings.
Find me. Google. Arrogant wing find me now. Sorry for whoever requested this tree. I'm really bad at trees. They're one of two things I can't draw. So they're just elementary.
It's taking every ounce of fiber in my being not to ask you what the other thing is that you can't draw. Do you see how I did that without actually asking?
I'm going to leave right now.
And then you just left it, which is fine because it wasn't a question.
The other thing I can't draw is cars.
Why do you suppose that is? Why do you think you have these Achilles heels?
I think because, I don't know about trees, but I know because of cars. I went to school with a bunch of kids that like were frothing over cars and I was like, I love Ford, I love Holden. And then you have me in the background going, I don't care.
Right.
I like wrestling. Who's the nerd now? And then I think like I've kind of just grown an association for it. And whilst they were all drawing cars, it was like, that's not a cool thing to draw. Anyone can draw a car, but I'm not going to do it.
Right.
So
I could do that if I wanted to, but
yeah, but I'm not going to. And then come time when I actually have to draw a car, I can't do it. I trace it. I don't care. There's no point making an anatomically incorrect car. And then again, you can't really have an anatomically correct car either, can you?
No, I don't think so.
With veins and body parts.
You can try.
Biology. There we go. Check that out. Got teeth like my grandma.
Teeth like Weet-Bix.
Oh, Weet-Bix teeth. It's another band name.
Weet-Bix teeth.
How many Weet-Bix do you do? Hold on, let me count my teeth. Oh man, I was doing the DDP thing. Hands. I can't draw hands. One of three things I can't draw. You know what? I'm going to cheat. I'm not drawing another hand.
Something else you can't do with how just
can't copy and paste with paper.
Copy and paste.
V, Control C, Control V. Man, I think I taught someone this trick last time. You can change. You can flip it right there. Rotate it. There we go. And then throw your diamonds in the sky if you feel the vibe. And then erase the bits behind it.
Not at all what I expected when I woke up this morning.
What?
A tree giving the DDP.
He's signaling
Signaling
the end of the match.
Wow.
And then I'm gonna join those two layers. I'll join the wrong two layers. That's fine. And then don't forget it's tattoo.
May have overreacted a little bit there. It's fine. Just a menu.
You never know what's gonna pop up though. That's the problem.
Right.
Especially if you're Jared Haynes and doing it in front of a public school.
So Paulina was asking, did you watch a lot of cartoons when you were young?
I still watch cartoons.
You're still young.
I'm still young.
Yeah.
I'm only in my late 50s.
You're like a day over 49.
Oh, you sweetheart.
What did you watch?
I grew up on like Black and Mice and like Street Sharks and Pokemon and Dragon Ball and all the good stuff.
And Dragon Ball was my jam.
Dragon Ball was your jam, yeah. See, I never liked Goku. He always took too long. I always liked Frieza. I always liked the bad guys.
Right.
The ones who like, and Vegeta. But then when Vegeta became good, he got boring.
Right.
I still watch like Rick and Morty, and I got into like that Final Space thing recently, and like Big Mouth, and
Final Space is quite good, isn't it?
You like it?
Yeah.
It's so many mixed reviews. I love it. It's so whack. Got a big ear.
Paulina has a follow-up question with that, which is great. Where your inspiration and current style comes from. Where your inspiration and current style comes from. So I guess the cartoons that watch, did that like infer your style that you have
yeah,
now?
for sure. I think my style, like, to answer that part first, my style is like a combination of things that I like, and it's just through natural, like just drawing them all the time. It kind of came that way. So yeah, cartoons definitely. I've inspired massively by like Japanese tattoos. And so the cool thing about Japanese tattoos are they're very pressure sensitive as well, like even the tattoos.
Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't know it. You can kind of see it. So there's always that stuff that I look at. And then I think like, and obviously, yeah, through tattoos. So I love bold lines.
Right.
I think that my inspiration comes from like when I was a kid. I just really never let go to the idea of like when I used to like play with toys. I always used to. I was never really interested in going. All right, well, dinosaur plays with dinosaur, or like wrestler plays with wrestler. I was almost also just like, hey, I've got this really cool looking wrestler. Let's put this on a dinosaur, and then like, what else can you do? Like, oh, you want to like stomp on Skeletor? Let's do that, and like just mix all the toys in. I remember that movie. Indian in the Cupboard and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I grew up on that. So like I remember the scene where they're like they all come to life and there's like Darth Vader and there's like Cowboy and then there's like a dinosaur and they're like I think that kind of inspires me heaps just to be really like amalgamating with my style.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows over in Toy Story as well, like how Andy's like got a bunch of different toys and they never really match. So I think that's kind of played into my thing. So with my style, I love to take things from different areas and then like mix them together and like just kind of see what happens at the end. I don't really tend to think about it. Yeah, I think that's my style. It definitely plays into what I'm doing now.
Yeah, for sure. Tree reminds me of old school character Zippy the Pinhead from the USA. I don't know that one. Do you know Zippy the Pinhead?
No, it sounds racist.
I'm sure it's not. Yeah. Assume it's not.
Let's just assume it's not, but I've never heard of it. I've heard of the teacup head. That's a thing as well. Take a shortcut. No, I've never heard of Zippy the Pinhead. Like, when I was thinking of drawing that tree, I was just thinking of like Snow White.
Right.
I think it's Snow White. There we go.
So April, teach me how to destroy all my enemies. Let me rephrase that. Where do you find inspiration from?
Well, April, I don't know. I don't know where I find my inspo from. Like I said, it just comes from everywhere. I just have it without thinking about it. I always get asked like what happens when I get creative block, and without sounding like a bit of an idiot, I don't really get creative block that often because my style is like coming from everywhere. So like I'll watch wrestling, or like I'll turn on like Netflix. You can just tune to the next thing.
Right.
So like, what happens if they're all on TV show? So I kind of get that asked a fair bit, but everywhere.
That's cool. It's interesting, like how like the type of style can be quite freeing.
Yeah, big time.
In a way. Yeah, well, in a big way, I guess.
I think like with these layers, to go back on the artwork, if they were like on your question of if like how many layers I do, I think that I would probably do another one over the top of this. This is probably what my second layer would look like, just to get everything kind of finessed and stuff at the end.
This tree is ridiculous. I'm just not going to get over it, I don't think.
You?
Yeah.
It's probably going to be that one thing that keeps you up as well.
Yeah, definitely.
This one's a negligent parent, this one right here. Yeah.
The dancing one?
No, that one. It's a negligent parent, just like looking at the little flower crying.
Oh.
Negligent.
Negligent.
Negligent. I don't know how to say that. Maybe that's something for the Twitterverse. Somehow it's bigger. You can go to hell. You can just be a normal tree. You don't get personality. I think like I still carry a lot of. I didn't want to touch on it. I still carry a lot of stuff over from like graffiti character culture.
Right.
So like you can kind of.
I can see it in the mushroom.
The mushroom, yeah. I think it's just something like really.
It could very easily be a spray can.
Yeah.
Like with the cap getting pushed down as you.
Oh, for sure.
Twinsing. I see that now. I don't know if I connected that beforehand though until you said it.
Maybe just look familiar, and then it kind of
dawned on you.
Yeah.
Paulina was asking, did you ever study academic drawing or painting? And do you think it's good for an upcoming artist to learn to draw academically correct?
What's academically correct?
Well, I guess like a proper course. Like, and what do I mean by proper course? But like, I guess a structured course. Like, if you were getting into the industry now. Well, I guess the beginning of the question is, did you do any of that? Like, did you do, like we spoke about Year 12 art earlier on.
Yeah.
I know you did that and you enjoyed it.
I did enjoy that.
Did you do anything further than that?
I did.
Like graphic design or illustration courses or anything like that?
Yeah, I did. I did a bachelor's in design, like graphic design. Mm-hmm. I think it had bits of. Do
a bit of drawing in there?
I had a little bit, but not a great deal. What's going on there? So I did bachelor's of design. It was called communication design. So it had elements of like advertising, and it had elements of drawing and like various other elements of design. But I didn't necessarily do any drawing classes. I just kind of taught myself since I was a kid. When I was younger, my parents tried to push me to become one of those like newspaper cartoonists.
Right.
So I always had that in my head. Mm-hmm. So I'm always just kind of looking at stuff to draw. And I used to read a lot of comic books and stuff. So I used to spend my time copying them and drawing from memory and learning from that. But I never necessarily had a drawing class that I went to further my drawing skills. Like if you find yourself can't draw, that's something you can obviously work on. But I don't necessarily think it's possible to go. I don't think it's necessary to go do a drawing class.
Right.
Unless it's one of those nights out where you spend like life drawing or something like that.
Yeah, because you were saying before, Paulina, if you weren't here, that you still do that sometimes. I know some other regulars on the show and other artists that I know still do it as well.
Yeah.
Just to keep fresh
keep fresh. Yeah. Like I bring all that into my like toning and stuff like that. But I don't really think it's necessary. If you want to get good at something, just keep practicing until you actually get good at it. I still don't think that I'm the best drawer in the world. And I know that like I'm gonna have a lot of critics that probably say the same thing, but yeah. I think that you don't need it. Just teach yourself.
Cool.
And smart object that. Boom.
Oh, Emma's asking, can you please zoom out so we can see the whole picture? The bell is about to go for the end of the lesson.
Is it really?
Well, not us, I think for them.
Oh, got you.
Because they're in a year 12 class.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Live and die by the bell.
Saved by the bell, some would say.
Some would say. If they're in year 12 right now, they definitely don't get that reference.
Zach Morrison. Slater.
Screech,
yeah. I don't remember the other characters. Mr. Belvedere.
Oh yeah, wow.
My pop culture's on 10.
Yeah.
What else should I draw? Someone said B before. No, is that still a thing?
Arrogant B.
Arrogant B. I feel like that can be a big...
We'll take some more suggestions now as well. So keep the questions coming, but yeah, probably we'll draw another group of things. And we're going to start off with an arrogant bee. How do you draw an arrogant bee? This is really tough.
Good question. What makes it arrogant? Is there anything deeper down that we know? Where did he come from? What did he do for work? What school did he go to? Is he late for the bell?
He's late.
How much coffee did he have? Is he getting screwed around at work? Is he want to raid Area 51? What makes him arrogant?
Endless questions.
Does he listen to Seether?
He listens to Weet-Bix's teeth.
He do what he wants.
Thanks for joining us, Emma, and Year 12 class from Mildura, by the way. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Hope you can tune in again. Hope you enjoyed your time.
Actually, fun fact, did you know that every bee that you see that flies around is a female?
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because they're the workhorses of our generation. I don't know. I think my fiance knows more about that than I, so I'm not going to say anything.
Well, let's get her on.
Brit. I think it's one of those things that the women do all the work and the men stay at home to be there is completely reproductive.
To be there. Sweet.
To be there.
Amazing.
To be there. And yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, female bees. So I guess this has to be arrogant. Why is she arrogant? Maybe she has a male co-worker that she's giving her grief. I'm gonna do that.
Let's not dig too deep.
That's my background.
Okay.
She's arrogant, but why is she arrogant?
We'll check out Zippy for homework. I'm going to check that out. Festus, thanks for leaving the link.
I'm going to think about that.
The bee's arrogant, Festus says. The bee's arrogant because all the other bees are happily busy and this bee is lazy.
That's a good one. I feel that.
Well done.
I like the background story.
Well done.
I'm a sucker for background stories. She's lazy. Lazy bee.
Well, interesting. Paulina was asking, just to follow up from the life drawing, do you draw in a cartoonish style when you're doing life drawing, or do you do it as...
No. I definitely try to delve into that because the reason I do it is because it pushes me out of my comfort zone. Because as you can see, like my natural go-to style is heavy black work, line work, semi-cartoonish. Yeah, so like I go to these things to push me out of my element so I can learn to continue my style. So if I ever want to bring stuff into my style later, I've actually got the background for it. But yeah, I don't draw cartoon. I definitely try and do as realistic as possible. Am I good at it? Maybe not, but I practice.
It's cool.
I can't draw feet. So many things I can't draw. And that's why I go to live drawing classes.
They look like cars. They're great.
Well, you know what? You did it to me.
You done did it now.
You done did it now. Don't do what Donnie don't does.
It's one of my favorite Simpsons references. Oh dear.
Arrogant.
I don't let you have any fun.
Chopsticks over here. Arrogant
bee.
I'm lost. I need more of a backstory.
Festus said the bee lost his leg in Nam. Maybe that.
Her leg in Nam.
Her leg in Nam.
Let's do it. You weren't there, man. You weren't there.
Could give the bee a camo jacket.
Oh, now we're getting into backstory.
Right.
This is why we're friends.
A tattered jacket.
Yeah. Okay. Spent a life in the tunnels and the trenches in Vietnam, serving as part of the Viet Cong. See that? I twisted it.
Wow.
You didn't see I was coming from that angle.
Right, we assumed too much.
It's your first mistake. They're gonna have like big aviators. Now I've got a backstory.
Wow. I should give credit to Festus who actually came up with the Nam thing.
Festus?
Yeah.
10 points for Gryffindor.
What house would you be?
Slytherin.
You would.
Oh yeah,
that was a really quick answer.
It's well thought of.
You've thought about this
Slytherin.
before.
Yep.
Why is that?
Well, if you think about it, Harry's always making mistakes.
Right.
Harry's making mistakes. He's arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't
like the bee.
Like the bee. He doesn't get along with his friends.
Doesn't he?
No.
By the end of the movie, he
yep.
gets along.
But I feel that Draco is the real hero of the story because he didn't kill Dumbledore.
Right.
He saved him, kind of for a minute, but he didn't kill Dumbledore.
Right. And that's enough to be straight up Slytherin?
Yeah, I think so. I want to be Draco.
Okay.
Yeah, I always root for the villains.
Right.
Like in Karate Kid.
The Karate Kid.
Like the Karate Kid, yeah.
The movie was called The Karate Kid.
Yeah. Here comes this rookie out of nowhere and defeats him in the final tournament. He's injured. He can't even...
An illegal move.
Yeah, it's an illegal move. The crane's an illegal move. Gonna have a big... There you go. Crutch.
Got a suggestion for a UFO floating in the background.
Done.
That's wow, it's quick.
Who wants to storm Area 51 with me? It's gonna be the worst drawing ever.
Just channeling the cowboy hat that we started with, that's all.
Yeah. Straight out the cannon, Ric Flair. Ooh. You're still wrestling. No, he's not still wrestling. He gave me his number.
Who did?
Oh, promotions.
We'll move on.
Move on. That was so
Got another Draco fan in the chat.
Hell yeah, who's a Draco fan?
Kashula?
Oh, my
Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yes, finally more Draco fans.
Oh.
So hard to come by. I get ridiculed all the time.
Wow. It's not easy out there, is it?
It's a hard life for a Slytherin fan. Hey, look, I'm calling it out loud. I'm not ashamed.
You heard it here, folks.
You can have a... Try and draw this one fairly quickly, I reckon. We'll treat this one as the second layer.
I have a question which I'm going to assume is an in-joke. Are you going to sing Young Hearts Run Free acoustically before the stream ends?
I think so.
No?
I've got to be straight up. I don't think so. I'll play it on my phone.
I don't think we have the rights to that.
I don't think so. Let's just play it down as rights. I don't think I can. The only person I know who can do a great rendition of that is Rat Daddy. If anyone doesn't know who Rat Daddy is, they should Google it. Rat Daddy does a great impression. B-Wings. Nam jacket. Start talking to myself after a while.
I do that when I work.
Yeah.
All the time.
When you need to talk to a professional, you just start talking to yourself.
Yeah. That's why I originally got a pet, just so I could pretend I was talking to the pet.
Come now. Me or the pet?
I was talking to the cat. Cat's not here.
We never had a cat.
That's why I was talking. I was looking for the cat.
It's my cat's birthday. I bake him a cake every year. Some saggy kneecaps.
Saggy kneecaps.
Yeah.
The one carrying the country on her back. Can you guys high five each other? There we go.
That was
easy.
Crisp.
Yeah.
That was crisp.
Did you get that one, Harrison? Crisp.
That was crisp.
That's how we do.
Mm-hmm. You find that in the chip section under crisp. You should be well versed on your dad jokes by now.
Been training my whole life.
Yeah. You're ready. It's like the Olympics for you now.
Oh, it's amazing. Okay, we got a tech question. Do you ever use the smoothing feature when inking?
There's a smoothing feature?
Yeah, like afterwards you can get the tool and then smooth over your lines.
Oh no, I didn't even know you can do that.
We can do our own. We can do our own tutorial afterwards. I can show you what that is.
I've been using like Adobe Photoshop for like, I don't know, at least 20 years. If it's around, yeah, at least maybe give or take a year. But I never knew you can do that. The exoskeleton is showing through. Your epidermis is showing.
So, Owain, I think that's a no. Doesn't use it.
No, yeah, sorry, I've never heard of it, and there's a lot of things that I probably never get around to using because I don't know they exist.
I think a lot of us do that. You know, if it ain't broke, why fix it? Like in our workflow.
Yeah.
And it can be hard to kind of find the time to dedicate to learning new skills and changing things and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Something I'll look into though. It sounds kind of cool. I'm gonna rotate this sucker. Arrogant, just pretending he's using a machine gun, but it's really a crutch. Pointing at someone. Pointing at the UFO.
We're getting towards the end of our hour. We're not going to, we'll stick around for a little bit longer. But now's a great time, chat. If you do have any more questions, to get them in, and then we'll get to them when we can.
Yeah.
We can spend a bit more time finishing some line work up. Yeah, question time. Got another Slytherin in the house?
Hell yeah.
There's 3 of you?
That's why we're friends. We should all start a community. We'll study Spanish together. Señor Chang, El Tigre. Edgelord. I don't know what that means. You can have further stripes, and that's an arrogant bee.
That's awesome.
And then I think over the top of everything, once I'd get to it, I'd make sure that everything would be there'd be another layer, I think, to go over everything one more time. Like to finesse anything I missed or to add any more detail or. Yeah.
In your head, did you go?
Dude, I did.
I can tell because you did the straight line, then you're like, yeah.
But I made the sound.
That's how the sound
I made
looks.
the sound too as well. I've seen a lot of UFO movies and they've all done the same thing.
It's like that dolphin sound. There's this dolphin sound that was recorded such a long time ago, and it's used in every movie whenever there's a dolphin.
Really?
And if you heard it, you can see it back to back. It's the same file.
It's the same sound?
Yeah.
Soundbite?
And I can only assume that it's open license, so no one owns it, so everyone can use it for free. And you hear the exact same dolphin all the time. It's in games as well.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen a clip where someone's just shown every single instance that it's in. It's exactly the same.
It's like that that screaming sound when someone falls out of a building. It's like that really.
Right. Yeah.
The same with Weet-Bix. They use that Iron Man scream all the time as well. You know, the ones from maybe it wasn't Weet-Bix, it was Nutrigrain.
Oh yeah, the Nutrigrain one.
Yeah, the Nutrigrain scream. Yeah.
It sounds kind of in pain. You should be eating Weet-Bix instead.
Yeah. I think you should stop eating Nutrigrain if you start making that sound. I don't think I've ever eaten Nutrigrain and started feeling like that.
Consult your doctor if systems persist.
Yeah. How about just stop it?
Elizabeth was asking, what other jobs have you got coming up? Because you're in Sydney right now.
Yes, I'm in Sydney right now.
4 hours. 4 hours. That's an understatement.
Yeah.
4 days back to back painting before you even.
If you can see my hands, is there any way to show my hands?
Yep.
Yeah.
There it is.
They're covered in paint from I think 4 days of painting every day.
Free tattoo.
Free tattoos, yeah. No, I think at the moment I'm painting. I painted Australia Square yesterday. I painted a place called Cali Press, and so I'm doing their new one in Bondi at the moment.
So is that like an internal like mural?
They're internal murals,
yeah.
So the one I'm doing at the moment, I think is about maybe, I think 9 meters wide and 3.5 meters high. And then I painted my friend's restaurant the other day, Down and Out Burger in Crow's Nest. And then this Saturday, I don't know how much I'm allowed to release. Doing
another job, you can just say
doing
that.
another job.
Nice
I'm doing an awesome workship for a really cool retail brand.
Awesome.
And painting a mural in Melbourne on Sunday in the Emporium. If you're in the Emporium, come and find me. And then you'll see what I'm painting. But after that, I think I'm allowed to release what I'm doing.
Yeah, awesome. When you do a mural, because obviously we're doing a digital art, kind of quick sketch here, but when you're doing a mural, there's so many different ways to do it. Like, do you use a grid? Do you do line work first and then come in? Do you project stuff on to the wall?
Yeah.
What's your method?
I definitely, there's elements of everything really. I don't use grids. I know a lot of my friends do.
Yeah.
It's not something I do. I'm not a believer in grids because I find myself like doing a sketch, the sketch on the artboard first, and then realizing that it doesn't match the size of the wall. So I'll draw
like proportionately.
Yeah, proportionately.
Right.
So I like to move stuff around because especially things come into play like the one I'm doing at the moment in Bondi. I've already drawn the sketch, but there's furniture being moved in and stuff, so that always comes into play.
That's interesting. So you got to think about not just the space, like in an abstract sense, but you also got to think about like where people will sit, I suppose, in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a big part of my work that is simply just groovy lemon. There's a big part of my work that is freehand, but at the same time I love using a projector because all my work goes into before. Right. So I can do all this, doing what you do. Like it sounds so cliche, but keep doing what you're doing and then it'll start coming towards you.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
Sounds super cliche, but it's surprisingly true.
Well, things are a cliche for a reason a lot of the time, right? Like it works. So, yeah.
100%. I'm pretty sure this is basically how I lay out a mural, to be honest.
Yeah.
100%. Get this guy. Ooh, Arrogant B.
Arrogant B. We've got Squid Flare down there. We've got the DDP tree. Happy little sunflowers.
What else can you ask for?
What else could you ask for?
Life's greatest gifts.
It's been great. Thank you, chat, for playing along. We've had a great time here. We hope you guys did too. If you're watching the replay as well, we'll have some links down the bottom to Jesse's Instagram, I guess, is the best place to connect with you and check out your work and what's going on.
Yep, at JESWRI.
Easy. Super easy. We'll leave a link for that as well. And we'll be back again next Wednesday. It's been so wonderful to hang out with you guys. See you later.